Hey guys, MagnusRobert here, bringing you another podcast. Well, not another podcast, but a new podcast. This is Tappers Talk. So, a little bit of a surprise, I know, but back in the day, of course, I did the creators collaboration with some old tapped out YouTubers. So today I've decided to kind of reshape that, and we're now doing Tappers Talk, which is with some new tapped out creators. So, of course, I am joined by two amazing tapped out creators. First of all, ElloArfur, friend of the channel.
Hello there.
Or friend of my channel anyway. Of course, ElloArfur has been on YouTube for... How long have you been on? How long have you
A
been
little
on
while,
YouTube?
a few years, maybe.
A few
Yeah,
years,
two,
yeah.
2 years, yeah,
'Cause
at least.
You
I
took a
forget.
break for a bit, didn't you? And then
I
you came
did,
back,
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but a
really.
while. And
Yeah,
we're also joined by a bit of a smaller YouTuber, but still a great YouTuber, and also a newer YouTuber as well, I guess, because you haven't been around as long as me, and definitely me,
Definitely
yeah.
not.
But of course, it's BoRt, pLaYz.
Hi. Um, yeah, I've been around since I think first video was October 2021. Pretty new, yeah.
Yeah, very new, yeah. So, what is this podcast? So, this podcast is basically all about Tapped Out. We're going to be talking about Tapped Out. It has a very specific structure to it. So, we're always going to be starting off with our little intros, talking, kind of maybe just catching up a little bit. And the main section, or the first section of these podcast episodes, will be our update discussion, where we will be discussing the newest update in the game. So, of course, today we're going to be speaking about Hell on Wheels. Then we're going to have a question of the month section. This will be basically, we'll be talking about a particular topic, So, for example, today we're going to be talking about, has Tapped Out used the multi-event structure for too long? That's our question for today, but we could do numerous different things. Something as simple as, what's the best update? Or something as heavy as, is hacking ethical? Then our fourth section, or our third main section, is our look to the show, where we'll be talking about a particular episode, a random episode of the show, and we'll be breaking it down, talking about our opinions on it, and we'll also be bringing up some things from that episode that they could potentially add to the game. And then our final main section is our blast from the past, where we're going to be looking back at an older update in Tapped Out and kind of giving our opinions if it were to be added today about that update. We also do want to have a Q&A section at the end of the podcast, where we will essentially take some viewers' questions. So if you want to put down some questions for us to answer in episode 2, please go leave them right now. This podcast we're planning on doing every month, hopefully. So it'll be once a month, not every month, but once a month. Once a month every month, probably. It could vary depending on schedules and stuff, who knows. And we also are hoping to get some guests. Not sure who those guests will be quite yet, but we'll have to see in the future. So, before we get into it, I will, hand it off to you two. If there's anything else you want to say about your channels, talk about what you do in terms of what sort of videos you make, that kind of thing. So I guess we'll start with Arthur.
yeah. So, I'm obviously just mainly just uploading packed out content, and I guess I explore different aspects of the game. I make videos on the event content and visiting people's towns, and that's pretty much it. That's what I do. How about you, BoRt?
Well, I'm mainly tapped out, but I also do a lot of content on Simpsons, the Futurama, Family Guy, and the Goosebumps game, which is a pretty new thing. But I do a lot of mystery box openings, just like event content, just like Arfur, and just like tutorials too. But yeah, that's really what I do on my channel.
Yeah. Mostly I stick to just reviewing the different events. I do a bit of premium gameplay for the premium stuff, And of course I do my event ideas. That's the thing I like to do the most, when I create some fictional events that EA could add if they wanted to. If they were smart, they would add my ideas. So that's it for the intro. Let's move on to talk about the update. So of course, the most recent update that is out, the one that's currently still going, as of recording this, we're of course in Act 2. Act 3 hasn't quite yet started. I forget, what is the date it starts?
I think it starts tomorrow.
Is it tomorrow?
Tomorrow, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
that's 30.
Yeah.
Oh, well, this video will probably be out as Act 3 is already out, but we've only, at the time of this recording, we've only played Act 1 and Act 2. Obviously, we can see ahead what is going to be added. So, yeah, I guess I'll leave it off to Arthur. Do you want to talk about the update? What's your opinions on it?
Well, I think, I am quite fond of the update. I think the actual prizes themselves they're pretty good. I think we've seen some good buildings so far. Maybe perhaps lacking on the Springfield Auto Show, for example. That wasn't the best, and we had a very similar building.
Yeah, it was a bit of a repeat, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. But yeah, I think by the looks of the update, it does look pretty good. It does have its ups and downs. I think, overall, pretty, I'd say, just above average for me. Looking at it, yeah.
That's fair. What about you, BoRt?
I mean, I enjoy the update. There's a lot of good stuff. I love the color aspect. It's nice to have more of those. Yeah, the convention center, the auto show is really similar to the convention center and I'm blanking on the name, but the one from our TS last year.
Yeah, the
dinosaur. Bit of a repeat.
Yeah,
we've got some nice characters though. Like I really love Billy, and Cliff, Crazy Vaclav is really nice too. Yeah. So we've got some good buildings and characters.
Yeah, I love the fact that there's classic characters though, like Billy and Crazy Vaclav. You know, they are minor characters, but it's nice when they add classic characters. I like that a lot.
Yeah, we actually got a decent number of characters from Mr. Plow besides Crazy Vaclav, or at least items.
Yeah.
It's a nice update so far. I mean, I'd rather have like something like Into the Simpsons verse, but it's not doppelgangers also, so that's a really nice part of it too. Because we've had so many doppelgangers recently, it's just nice to have a break.
Yeah, I've really for me, sort of recently, characters have been a big thing. Like, I've not felt any of the characters in the sort of before this update in I don't even know, since like Christmas, not even Christmas, because Christmas had some pretty weak characters too. I don't know, it's been a while anyway that I've actually really liked the selection of characters that an update's brought, and I think this one's had like a fairly balanced and some pretty cool characters in it. Like I said, like Billy and Crazy Vaclav and all, and Cliff too was pretty cool too. I really love the buildings in this event as well. Have you seen that car wash? That looks awesome. I'm excited for that.
Very excited for that.
Yeah. There's just some really bright and colorful buildings that just pop out.
Yeah, it's just nice to have some also like generic buildings too, even if it's not like a big pop out building, something that you can just place around your town that looks normal.
Yeah.
And also, I think we got some like regular decorations, like the valet booth. It's just,
I like stuff like that.
Great for designing.
Yeah,
it's nice for designing. Yeah.
The biggest flaw I feel, I don't know about you guys, I'd be interesting to see your take on it, considering compared to me anyway, you're newer players, with the structure, because I hate the structure of this update and a lot of the previous updates, because like back in the day, it's always, you get a couple buildings mixed in there, and you get the character as the final prize. And I kind of like that progression, like the character is the thing that people want. And I'm starting to come round slowly on the sort of structure they're doing now, where the character could be like the third prize, or the second prize, or the first prize. I don't know, how do you feel about the structure?
Well, it's like, I remember I started when they still had the character at the end of the prize track, so I still remember that.
Yeah.
And then recently, like, they've had that, like, in Act 1, we had Billy, I think, as the second prize, but in this act, and I think in the next act, too, we've got a costume and then an NPC
Yeah.
at the end, which I feel like an NPC of all the things, that's something that I feel like should be in the middle, because it's, like, not quite...
Yeah, that's another
really
big thing
a
as
character.
well, yeah. I feel like an NPC... A costume, I think, is fine, as long as it's not for all 4 acts, unless it's a very costume-oriented update, which I think is okay. But I don't really like an NPC being, like, the only character in the prize track. It's just not significant.
It doesn't feel like it.
Yeah.
I'm still glad that, like, they're back, though, because I got a little worried because we didn't have one in the first Red Alert or Hot Diggity Dough. I think Search to Springfield. So I'm glad that they're back because they did still enjoy those.
Yeah, it's better than what year was it? It wasn't last year. Was it 2020? I think
2020.
Yeah, 2020 had no NPCs, and then 2019 had 1. So it's
yeah.
Really lacking, yeah.
It's better than nothing, I'll say that, for sure. I really like the mystery boxes in this one as well. That's another big thing. They have that new mystery box thing, which I haven't really heard too much about. I read about it, but I have...
The Shattered Dreams stuff,
the Shattered Dreams one, yeah. Has anyone actually tested that out yet?
No, I was able to get 1 token through daily challenges after, like, grinding, but it's still, I don't think it shows up until the end of the event, so...
Oh, is that how it works? Yeah. Okay, I see.
Yeah,
I haven't had any challenges for it. It's, yeah, and I've gone through, I think it must have been about, like, 30 by now that it's been released, so, yeah. It's,
I was like... It's exciting to, like, get it, but then I got it and I was like, where'd it go? It's not in your inventory, so you don't even know if you even got it.
No, yeah, that isn't great, I think. Yeah, and people do seem to be very confused about it, I've found.
Yeah, I hear, like, every day, like, I just got a mystery box token. Where is it?
Yeah. Yeah, but it is good, though. The actual... the content in the box, it does look really nice.
Oh yeah, it's kind of like a future theme, isn't it, for this one? Or
I'm really hoping for I'm hoping for Stephen Hawking because I have not in the 2 years that I've played ever seen him in the game. So return ever. So he's pretty rare.
Yeah, really.
I'm actually surprised they're re-adding him because with obviously, he gave permission when he was alive. He gave permission to be added in the game.
Wow!
But, like,
yeah,
I didn't know that.
And then he died. Well, yeah. There's a reason why they don't add real people in the game. The only ones they've added in the game are Weird Al Yankovic, who gave permission, Stephen Hawking, who gave permission, and Matt Groening, who obviously would give permission. I don't think there's any other real life people apart from those 3. I don't believe.
Yeah. And they, besides Matt Groening, they, like, almost never are in the game.
Yeah,
it's pretty weird to find
I don't think Weird Al will ever be re-added. It would be very weird because Weird Al was kind of added for that particular update. It was kind of like a celebrity tie-in almost.
Yeah.
Yeah, so unless they have, like, I don't know, some sort of music thing again, or maybe.
Yeah.
I think there's definitely potential. Anyway.
Oh, sorry, no, go on.
I think there's definitely potential for... with the music and for them to get more characters in. Yeah.
They had a pretty recent episode with, like, Bleeding Gums Murphy's nephew or something like that. That'd be a pretty great. Yeah, they'd have that'd be a great. They could center that around too. So.
Yeah.
There's definitely a possibility for another one.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. So, anything else you would like to add about Hell on Wheels before we move on?
Not much, no.
I think that's it. No, yeah.
Okay. One thing, that Homer's Demolition Derby car, whatever it's called, I don't know the exact name. It's like a repeat of the Demolition Derby grounds that we've got in the game.
It's already in the game, yeah.
Yeah. So that it's just weird that that's been re-added essentially.
I guess that you could think of this as like an expansion.
Possibly, yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
I
It's a
feel
bit
like
odd.
it is nice in a way. I don't know. The seats kind of expand it as an area, and
Oh, I like the fact they're adding the seats and stuff though. That's cool. So you can actually build your
Yeah.
own. Yeah, I just wish they weren't donuts.
So yeah, maybe
yeah, it's always donuts with these walls.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's so annoying because the one a bit of a tangent. The one thing that like annoyed me the most recently was the dinosaur update where they re-added the zoo walls for donuts, but originally they were cash.
oh,
Like when they were originally
yeah.
added in the zoo update, they were just cash. But why
and
re-add
they
them for
had the
donuts?
It is ridiculous.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a bit. I don't know. It's just
yeah.
I don't like it.
No,
It's
no.
hard. It's hard to come by donuts too. So
Yeah.
I gotta grind.
I mean, I can sit and complain, but obviously I'm gonna get them regardless. But I still feel for people who don't.
Yeah, yeah, and there's
Have
not really a lot to
donuts.
walls.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
mean,
It's not like it adds
like,
anything. Or
no, yeah, and people like, I don't know, I feel like it would work better for them if, EA, if they made them available for cash, because like people would
Yeah.
actually be able to create an area.
yeah.
Yeah, so, but yeah, hey ho.
Oh well. Anyway,
Yeah.
if we've got no other major opinions to say, I suppose we shall move on to our question of the month. So our question of the month, just to repeat, is: has Tapped Out used the multi-event structure for too long? And when I say multi-event structure, what I mean is the current structure of Hell on Wheels and the past 2 years of updates, or 3 years of updates. I don't even know how long it's been. Basically, it's the same as the mini update, however, repeated 4 times. So that's basically what we're going to be discussing today. So I personally picked this question because I am getting very bored of this structure. I think it's kind of got old for me, and I would like it if they switch things up and we have like a brand new structure. Now they could go back to the way it was, in the old updates. But what would be even better is if they came up with something new, exciting, maybe more engaging, maybe some more mini games or something like that mixed in. I don't know, like some more interaction as well with people's towns. Like, for example, years ago with the Whacking Day update, you had to like go to your friend's town and lay eggs in order to like progress more in the game. So some sort of like more friends interactions. I think that could be a cool idea. Or yeah, just generally, I'm just a bit bored with this structure, so I would love it if they could switch it up. So I wonder if my fellow podcasters would agree.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
So I'm kind of 50-50 on this.
Oh, okay.
Because I really enjoyed it when they added the tappables, and then they just took them away like immediately, which was really frustrating. Only 2 events.
Oh yeah, that's yeah, and the trivia as well. I like the trivia in the Christmas.
The trivia was
That was
one
brilliant.
of the most fun things. But I'm tied between one of the number one things is if they're gonna bring back the old thing, I don't really feel like they should do crafting, because recently I was able to try the Family Guy game and they've got crafting for every event, and it's like grind. But it's a lot of grinding in it. You're like on the game for hours, and it's like it's not as fun when you just have to it takes so long, and it's like you're not even able to get everything.
So
that just wouldn't be as fun. No, but
yeah, I got sick of crafting pretty quickly and Tapped Out. So I think it could be cool if it came back for an update, but I wouldn't want it to come back permanently. That's for sure.
I feel like it'd be nice if maybe they could have the mini events, like crafting could be in mini events. Also, last event, I believe they had the thing where you went to the different restaurants and you tried to collect the grease.
Oh yeah,
and
that was good.
They completely messed that up.
Oh, they did.
And
yeah.
and I wasn't able to going to like finish that part back because they like it was glitching for everyone, but I feel they keep trying to add these new things and then immediately just take them away.
Yeah, it's kind of like I was very worried with the season 33 prize track as well because I didn't think they would complete it. I actually like had this horrible thought that oh my days, this is going to be another Road to Riches or another friend prize where they say they're going to do this big cool thing and then they just abandon it. And so I'm glad they're at least completing that, but it is true with the tappables, they have just abandoned them.
Yeah, and I feel like the season 33 prize track is one of the coolest things they've done, and I'm hoping they do it next season because it's
definitely. I would love to see
it's like an episode tie-in, but it's like you get it at least for a fourth of the thing, and it's also nice that we got 2 characters this time because it's like 2 characters in a prize track.
Oh yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah. So structure, how important do you think it is that they change the structure?
I think it's very important. I think they can do a lot more, and they just haven't. And if they can actually get it right and say implement different things, like I don't know about, I didn't actually play many of the older events, but the community prizes did look.
Yeah, that looked great. Was really cool. Yeah, I really love the community prizes. That's a big thing as well. I feel like a lot of the social aspect of the game has kind of been removed with this structure because it's very focused on you're getting stuff, you're getting these items.
Yeah.
You've got to grind instead of like, okay, you could help out your friends you help your friends get these prizes, they help you get these prizes, you help the entire community kind of get some prizes. I love that aspect in the sort of previous years, so I definitely think that could be a cool thing to sort of implement again and sort of switch up the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure, yeah. And it would switch up the structure. And another big thing is, I don't know about you guys, I feel like cash is a bit sort of redundant in the game when you reach a certain level, when you've kind of got to a certain point.
The only time I've used cash recently has been for like, I don't know, XP farming, but I haven't bought anything with cash. That's like an item so long. It's like they don't use it anymore. They've just kind of abandoned it.
Yeah, and that kind of leads me on to my point. Like, I feel like even if they really wanted to keep this structure, maybe it is just like resources, or it's just much easier to do the structure. A cool addition could just be to sort of add a few more items in the store for cash, and maybe make them like ridiculously expensive if you want. Make it so it's like really you have to like properly grind and collect cash and XP, or cash farm instead of just XP farming, in order to get these prizes. Like make them a little difficult or very expensive to get. That could be like another sort of way, another challenge if you want.
Yeah, I think that would be brilliant. Like it'd be another way of them to like add more content into the game aside from just the prize track.
But they wouldn't even. Yeah. You could just do it with like returning items as well if you really wanted to. So it wouldn't even have to be new content necessarily.
It'd be nice to be able to like, I don't know, buy a character with money. And I think the one time that I've seen they do this is I believe every like Thanksgiving they have return the Mr. Burns costume for like 2,000 cash or something of him. I'm blanking on the costume name.
See my vest? Is it?
Oh, the
vest?
Vo costume.
Oh yeah, yes, I know that.
They have that return every year for 2,000 cash.
Yeah.
So that's during Thanksgiving, and that's like the one.
There's a boardwalk performer as well. There's cash, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, that's part of the levels, I think.
Yeah, but they do it occasionally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's one of the few that like returning items that they have that's not part of the levels for cash.
Yeah. Okay. So, any more you would like to add? Any you want to add about the structure, or the fact that answering the question, is the structure gotten old? Anything you would like to add?
To
I think
just
that's good.
to completely answer the question, I'd say, yeah, basically.
Yeah, I'd agree, 100%.
Solid. Not a very controversial topic then. Not much debate. Okay. Maybe we'll have a feistier one next episode.
Yes.
We'll be screaming at each other. All right. Let's move on to our next section, which of course is a look to the show. So, basically, what this section is we obviously pick an episode and we talk about it. And this is very embarrassing. I forgot the name of the episode because someone helped me out here. I did not write
Take my
it down.
wife's Sleaze.
Take my wife's Sleaze, yeah.
And what season, what episode is it?
Season 11, episode
Episode 8.
8, yeah.
Yeah, 8.
Okay.
I've got like got all my notes ready, you know.
I did. That was the one thing I didn't write down. Okay, so that was the episode we decided to pick. Oh well, I just picked it. I literally just went on the Simpsons random episode, and that was the one I went with. So I personally, I think it was an okay episode. I like the sort of theme and kind of doing the with the bikers. I don't know. I like that kind of aspect. You know, throwing Homer in this kind of out of fish sort of scenario, and I think the setup's quite nice as well.
Yeah.
I don't think it's the most hilarious episode, but I didn't find it boring. I like the stuff at the end. The fight scene at the end is kind of cool, and Homer sort of trying to stand up for his wife. I don't know. There's aspects I really do love about it. Yeah, I think it's above average for me. It's a good episode. Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, one of the it's still technically the golden age, even though, you know, we're past season 9, so.
Yeah, I think it's, well, you have like the classic era, and then you have like, when it's still, I feel like for me, what, where it started to go like really, really bad, again, it's a bit of a tangent, but where it went like really, really bad, The Simpsons, is that episode where Homer becomes like a tenor, you know, like an opera singer.
Oh yes, yeah, I know that one.
Like from that episode onwards, I did like a watch of The Simpsons where I watched it all in order. That episode on, it kind of died for me. That's where I kind of consider it to end, like in quality.
Yeah,
I think, yeah. Thinking of mid-modern Simpsons, like the 10 through 20, I think the episode I always think of that's like not great is the one where Bart moves out of the house and then he like meets Tony Hawk or something.
Oh yeah. Anyway, what are your opinions on this episode? Wait, Arthur, did you talk about it? I don't even know. Don't remember.
I haven't yet.
Oh, well then, go on.
So yeah, I think I'd say it was an above average episode. I like the story. I think it was good, and the plot. I don't think it was amazing, but yeah, I did like the bikers, and like Marge got quite close to them, and
yeah, I like the implications. Like there's implications that they're gonna take Marge and like do very bad things to her, but it kind of like it almost like juxtaposes that with like, oh, they just want her to like cook, you know. I don't know, I kind of like that. It kind of the story could have gone like a really, really dark way, but they sort of play on that, which is quite funny.
Yeah, that was great. Hilarious. Yeah, I think. Yeah, that I'd say that was my favourite part. I think, other than that, I think it was okay. It was good enough. Other than that, but yeah, that's what made it above average for me.
Fair enough. What did everyone think of the Wolf Guy Jack? the opener, basically. Because obviously Wolf Guy Jack was fairly recently added to Tapped Out, so I don't know. It'd be cool to see what your opinions of him are from this episode.
It was a nice like opening, I'd say. Yeah, but not like a perfect thing. And they kind of had it like go on too long, and like 10 minutes into the episode, they started the full plot.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah.
But it was a good opening. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think I'd agree.
It's a new setting, and I think he's kind of like just a quirky little one episode character. Sorry, Arthur, go on.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's very cool. Like Wolf Guy Jack is yeah, and actually looking back to when they added him into the game, I think they did a pretty decent job, and the voice and everything. Yeah, I think I quite like the opening, but yeah, it was too long, definitely for me as well.
Okay. And what about the ending? What do you feel of the ending?
It felt like
the little battle with the bikes, and then obviously they all kind of then there's like the resolution where they all go off.
It was a nice like fight scene, but it for some reason it didn't feel quite like The Simpsons, you know?
Yeah, it is very kooky. It does kind of remind me of like the those sort of wacky and the wacky moments that kind of take a lot of the realism out of it for this. Yeah.
Felt like a bit like episode of Family Guy or something.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
Just like a weird ending.
Mm.
Yeah, it didn't feel too. It just felt odd. Yeah.
All right. So that's our opinions. I guess let us know down below what your opinions are of the episode. But now we're gonna still the same section, but we're gonna be talking about potentially if there's some stuff they could add from this episode. So this is what I want to do when we kind of review our little episode. We look to the show. I want to take a moment to actually go through some items that are in the episode that could be added to the game. Now this one was not a particularly great start, just because a lot of stuff from this episode has been added. Papa Wheelies, obviously Wolf Guy Jack with the Greaser's Cafe, Ramrod and Meat Hook. We've got Homer's bike. There's so many things from this episode that have already been added to the game. So it is pretty scarce, I'm going to say. So I don't know what these two have got. I have 3 items personally. I don't know what these two have. So let's kick it off with BoRt. What are the items that you have are suggesting they could add from this episode?
So I had a few. It's not a great item, but maybe the Hell Satan's costumes for Ned and Lenny and Carl and Homer.
Okay. Yeah.
But I feel like the thing that probably would tie into it the most is the like little fake Rebel with a Cause parody with Jimmy, and then his like parents in his house.
Jimmy the Outlaw.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fair enough. I also had Jimmy the Outlaw. Oh, I nicknamed him Jimmy the Outlaw, but yes, I also had that as a character.
Yeah, I didn't really have anything else, but that was pretty much it.
Okay, yeah, I think those things. I don't know. I think the Homer one for the Hell Satans could work, just because you could have that animation with him eating the vest. That could be kind of funny.
Yeah.
I don't know about Mo, Ned, and all them having it. I think that might be a stretch, but definitely for Homer, I think it could work quite well actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd agree. Yeah.
All right, Arthur, what did you have?
Well, I did find quite a lot, but a lot of them were just 1 second appearances. So there was a scene where they were on their motorcycles, so I suppose. Yeah, so I had Mo's motorcycle, and Ronda's was on his bike, and there was Lenny's motorcycle as well. And I just thought that, they could potentially be added to the game in future updates, but I very short appearances.
I had Mo's bike just because it kind of like it broke down and it kind of blew. But like Lenny's tractor, the little tractor he's on that? That could be pretty funny. Yeah, especially if they would like to add like a sort of motorcycle. They could do like a mini. I think this is like mini event potential, if anything.
I'd agree.
It'd be scraping the bottom of the barrel, so to speak. But they definitely could make like a little mini update with like the costumes for Homer and the other characters too. Did you have any?
And
Sorry, go on.
I forgot. I had one more thing written down, which was the original Dennis the Menace, which probably would have to get information, but
Yeah, I feel like copyright might be an issue there, but
yeah,
it'd be nice to dream that they could add these characters. Okay, one last thing I had was the Crystal Lake, which is where the bikers originally take Marge. Obviously, you can't really see it very much, but then later on in the episode, near the end, you can see the sign for Crystal Lake, which I'll show an image here. So they could add like Crystal Lake as a building. This could be a building where they have the sign and then a bunch of trees, and then they could just have like the camp in the middle, similar to other things we've got in the past. So that could be cool as like a building potentially. And I did consider sort of like giving the bikers nicknames and maybe adding like the other bikers that don't have names, but I didn't go to that extent.
I mean, they had Daisy McGunnan. We can dream.
Yeah, true. No, yeah, exactly. They gave Daisy McGunnan a random, just a random blink and you miss it, and gave her a name. So yeah, it's possible. Okay. So any other items at all? Anyone else has?
Well, I did get one more actually.
Oh yeah.
I think it was. Oh yeah, the Guinness Book of World Records host at the start of the episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I don't know how he would be. Where his place would be in an update, but yeah, it might be quite cool if they had like another maybe TV, or A-list celebrities, kind of update.
Yeah.
But yeah. And actually another one here, the Faceless Man. I don't know whether you quite got that. But it was a one-second appearance, but maybe like an NPC or something. Yeah,
he was a pretty funny character.
Okay, any more at all? Anyone got any more?
I think that's it for me.
Yeah, me too.
All right. Well, if you guys watch the episode and you guys watching, if you guys watch the episode and you see any more that maybe we've missed, please do let us know down below. That would be interesting to see. But anyway, we are going to move to our final section now. So, this final section, we're going to be talking about, well, we're going to be doing our Blast from the Past. So basically, we're going to be looking at a older update that was added in the past, and we're going to pretend like it is being added tomorrow, and this is like a brand new update. So we're going to kind of give our opinions on what we can tell about the update. Obviously, I am the only one who's played it here. Arthur and BoRt didn't get the pleasure of playing the Stonecutters update, but they're going to judge from what they've read on the wiki, so big shout out to Wiki Simpsons, of course, for their articles. It would be near impossible to do this video without those articles, or do this section anyway, without those articles. So, yeah, we're going to be talking about the Stonecutters update and what we would think of it if it was added today. So, I just want to speak first, just because I played it. I remember this update very fondly. I loved this update quite a bit. And I remember when it first came out, it was sort of out of nowhere, but it was kind of similar to the Whacking Day update, where it was based on an entire episode. It was based on Homer the Great, and that's wild, especially like today, because it's very rare we get. I say rare, but it tends to not be usual that we get like big updates based on one episode. The only one I can really think of is like Springfield Enlightened. That was fairly recent. That was all based on one episode. And I know like Into the Simpsons verse, the premise was kind of based around one episode, but the items we got from that update were not very many of them were from that particular Treehouse of Horror segment. So I think
in Springfield Enlightened, we still got a few items that weren't from the episode also.
Sorry, which one? In the Stonecutters or?
In Springfield Enlightened, we got a few. I think we got the Dalai Lama and the Master.
Yeah, and the Master, yeah. But I mean, like, the main sort of... I think, was the... Oh, yeah, Dalai Lama was the one the Master was a Guilds deal, so I feel like that's kind of separate. Well, I always consider them a little bit separate. And I guess so, really, the only main thing that actually kind of was a part of the structure or the actual event on yourself as the Dalai Lama.
Yeah.
Yeah, but anyway, yeah, like I said, I remember this update, the Stonecutters update, I mean, quite fondly. But I'm be interested to hear your two opinions on it. I guess we'll start with, I don't know, who wants to go first?
Oh, you can go first. I don't mind.
Okay. So looking at the thing, first of all, I think if we release this today, people would be completely furious because we have 2 characters and everything else is costumes. They did a lot though.
Sorry, what was that?
I think, yeah, people would be pretty angry if this came today because 2 characters and about 20 costumes.
Yeah,
so they're all pretty similar.
I think that's like,
It's the magic of the classicness.
yeah,
You know?
and for me, like, I don't think costumes necessarily are a bad. Like, if we had an update that was just costumes, I don't think that would be a bad thing necessarily. Especially when they're like really, really cool costumes. Because I will take like a really cool costume for Homer over like a crappy blink and you miss it character any day.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
But I do agree.
We've also
there is a lot of costumes. That is true.
Yeah, and then we've got, I think, about 3 buildings and everything else.
Yeah, I
Decorations.
think that is a weak point of the update for sure, is when it comes to buildings and decorations. I like all the buildings they added. I think they're all really, really cool. The abandoned store, the Stonecutters Lodge, and the All-Seeing Eye, I think. Those are the 3 buildings.
I think it's a daycare center.
Oh, with the daycare center as well, yeah. I think the All-Seeing Eye is actually a decoration that earns cash, technically, but it's basically, it may as well be may as well be a building. And then the 2 characters, like you mentioned, I think are both very cool. Number 1 and the alien, I forget what number he is.
51, I think.
51, yeah. They're both very cool. I really love Homer's costume. I know some people were very kind of wanted the Chosen One as like a separate thing, but I was happy enough with Homer's costume.
Yeah, this is a nice one.
Yeah, I can kind of see where you're coming from with the whole they're all costumes, but there is another sort of problem with the costumes is that a lot of them don't have animations, which kind of makes them a bit crappy. But I guess the sort of the thing that justifies it for me is a lot of those costumes were added in the sacred, what's it called? The
sacred parchment thing.
Yeah. It was added in that, and it was just like essentially it was quite similar to the trivia actually from the recent Christmas update. It's quite similar to that, where it was just a bunch of questions, and it was very easy to get these costumes like for free, no effort.
I think that's like the highlight of it, right? Like the highlight of the event seems like the thing, because that sounds just like so fun to do, the puzzles and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
anyway,
I mean the
Arthur,
puzzles are just just like the puzzles as a separate aspect. Like there was the crafting and then there was the puzzles as well. It just, for me, that is why, I don't know, it just made it just really original and quite a special update, you know, even though there weren't so many buildings or decorations. I feel like I feel like there being so many costumes on so many characters was really cool to see.
Yeah. I think everything in it is apart from some of the costumes is very solid. I think the amount of content could be an issue, because if you sort of look about how much is really added there isn't tons. When you kind of factor out the costumes, pretend they're not there isn't tons apart from and like I said, some of the costumes are a bit crappy. You know, they don't have, not all of them have, some of them don't even have one animation.
Yeah, it's they could have done more with that. Because I mean, they just wear the costume. Yeah.
And there's like tasks and stuff, sure, but they're not as interesting as animations. Animations are sort of what, for me anyway, is what makes a character or costume.
Yeah, definitely.
I feel like if they added this now, they would definitely probably add that number one Homer or the chosen one. Because, of course, that's like the cooler costume. The number 908, is definitely a cool one, too.
I mean, yeah, they'd probably... I feel like they'd make it like a super premium. Oh, no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If it were added no, they'd make the alien super premium. That's what they would do.
That's what I was
thinking. Yeah, good point. Good point.
Because that would be the one everyone wants. I don't know, but then back in the day, they used to do, like, super premium used to be, like, the weird, obscure things, like Daisy McGunnan and, like, Wilbur Nurple, like, all these things that no one really wanted it anyway. And then now they're making, like, the super premium stuff, like, well, I guess apart from Hell on Wheels with the Truckosaurus, too, because I don't think anyone really cares about that. But with the, like, Sergeant Sausage and... God, what was the one before that?
Mr. McGreg.
Yeah, Mr. McGreg, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like, these two really cool characters, and they just made them super premium.
I kind of regret not Mr. McGreg. He was definitely looked amazing.
Mr. McGreg was so amazing. Like, if he wasn't super premium, he'd easily be my favorite character of, like, the past, like, 3 years. Not even kidding. He was really fun.
Yeah. He returned in the questline for Fancy Duffman, too.
Yeah.
So, like, pretty quick, like, they're invested in this character.
True. Anyway, going back to Stonecutters, I somewhat agree with you before, BoRt, where you said that you think there would be outcry and, people would be quite mad with this update being added.
Yeah.
I do agree. I think it was a very different time. Like, bear in mind, the game was very early on back then, and they were quite experimental with updates and things like that. And I feel like today there's a certain expectation. So I feel like there would potentially be a little bit of an upset in the community if this were to be added today. And I think for me personally, I would probably have a few issues with it as of now. I think I sort of look back on that update with kind of, like rose-tinted glass. I look on it quite fondly.
Yeah.
I forgive it for its flaws just because I had so much fun when I played it. But if it wasn't added back then and it was added today, I probably would take a lot of issue with it. I have to admit. What about you, Arthur? What do you think?
I mean, I just really like that it was something just original, to be honest. Would
you like it then? Would you be
I'd say just with like a feature like the puzzles, and I feel like it just makes it particularly special, and like having that as another aspect, but there wasn't so many. I always like decorations and buildings, and there wasn't really so much of that. So overall, it was. I'd say it was good. I'd like to play it today. I'd say.
Fair. Any closing opinions, BoRt?
I'd agree. I'd still enjoy it. I bet if they did add it today, they might have maybe added a few extra things. Added some characters. You had the Stonecutters event idea. I bet they would add the water pipe fixer or something. The janitor.
Yeah.
So they had to add some other guys, but I still think that it'd be a great update if it came today.
Fair. All right. So, anyone who's watching, anyone who managed to play the Stonecutters, let us know your opinions on it, and obviously there will be a link in the description to the wiki page on the Stonecutters if you guys have sort of heard our opinions or heard us talk about it, or you've looked at the article and sort of seen what the update looks like. Maybe tell us, and if you haven't played the Stonecutters update, maybe tell us how you'd feel if it were to be added to the game as of today, or next update. That's what it would be. Tell us your opinions if that were the case. Anyway, that is it for the Blast from the Past section, which brings us to the end. Now, usually this is, well, I say usually, like we've done this before, But going forward, we will be doing a Q&A segment at the end, but obviously we haven't got any questions at the moment, so there will be no Q&A segment today. But make sure to leave comments down. Leave a question down below in the comments. Is what I'm trying to say. So yeah, because that will help us further the series or the podcast, whatever you want to call it. Anyway, I'm gonna stop rambling. I'm gonna let these two say their goodbyes and do some plugs as well, guys, if you want, where people can find you, and obviously there'll be links and stuff down below, but I don't know. Any closing statements, basically?
This is really fun. Thank you so much for letting me do this experience. I hope we can do it forward. Also, if you're watching this, please go check out my channel too. It'd be really cool. And also, if you haven't seen ElloArfur or MagnusRobert, also go watch them.
I said plug yourself.
So that's about for me.
Yeah, don't plug us. Yeah, go check out BoRt.
Yeah, just BoRt. Don't unsubscribe from us too.
Yeah.
Just BoRt, yeah. Alright, well, this has been really fun. I've really enjoyed this, so hopefully we can continue. I definitely would love to do that.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Any closing statements before we go?
Nothing for me, no.
Alright, well.
For me, it's been great fun. Thank you.
Perfect. That's what I like to hear. So, thanks for watching Tapperstalk, episode 1. We probably hopefully we'll see you in a month for episode 2. So make sure to leave those comments down below for suggestions, questions, episodes you want us to watch, questions you have for us in general. Make sure to leave it all in the comments. I wanna hear people talking, hear people discussing, and we will see you in the next episode of the podcast, I guess. That's goodbye from me. Thanks for watching.
Bye, everybody.
Goodbye.